Hello everybody, my name is RenderTechnician, and today we're going to be playing One Night at Flumpty's 2. I've been meaning to play this game. Hello everybody, my name is RenderTech, and I bet you weren't expecting this. Today we're going to be playing One Night at Flumpty's 3. So I'm doing this in sort of the same fashion I did it way back in 2015, where I've got gameplay in front of me that's already pre-played, so I can have a bit of a chat and think about other things. I don't really have to worry about thinking about the game or any of the enemies or anything like that. There will be a video which will either have already been uploaded or will be uploaded, which shows the gameplay without me talking. It just seemed really fitting to come back with the sequel to the game that started it all. I can't believe it's been 6.5 years, and I'm very aware that I've been gone for best part of 3 years. But in the back of my head I've always said, if I ever have the chance to come back and do YouTube, I'm gonna. And I was on my way to work. I started a new job about a year ago, so I used to work in retail. I recently started moving to an office job, which was remote working for about 8 months, and then we started going back to the office around about August time, and it's about an hour there, an hour back. But I have a bit of walking distance, so a bit of thinking distance, so I can think of things. And one of the thoughts that came into my mind recently was, hey, One Night at Flumpty's 3 is coming out. You know, wouldn't it be really cool if I came back with this game? And that's sort of what's happened. But anyway, that's enough of me talking, so a bit about the game. So the method I'm using, and the method that I found worked best for me, is you want to look at the bottom 4 cams. Blam is just, whenever he goes into his Kevin Jr. pose, you want to get ready to flash the camera, unless Grunkfuss shows. You'll get to see that a bit later. But what you want to do is you want to look at the vent camera to check for the B-Val. Then you want to look for Grunkfuss's camera to see if he's there. Then you want to look at the main camera to see if Blam is there. And then finally, you want to look at the most left-handly camera. Now, it doesn't matter what order you do them in, as long as you check the Redmond's camera last, because I had a few instances where if you check the Redmond's camera first when you go for the others, his state may have changed when you've reload your camera down, and obviously he can go through the fireplace. And so when he's looking into the fireplace, I'll point that out when he comes to it, you'll actually have a fair idea. So he's walking to the fireplace there, but he's not actually going into it, so we are safe for the time being. I also want to make a bit of a retcon. I know it's like 6.5 years. Yeah, but you see there, he's looking into it, so if we were to look into the furnace now, we'd die. Grunkfuss has just gone, so we know not to snap the camera. And yeah, Blam's gone as well. And so if Grunkfuss is... yeah, stay away. If Grunkfuss is in the... is in the doorway, and Blam is in the doorway as well, you want to wait, and then wait for Grunkfuss to go back, then flash your camera, otherwise you're going to just get jump scared. Anyways, back onto the retcon. I re-watched my One Night at Flumpty's 2 video from 6.5 years ago, and beyond finding it incredibly cringy, I kept on saying freelance commentate. What I actually meant to say was freestyle, I think. I spend a lot of time on the phone with my new job. Not call centre, it's just... I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it without actually giving it away, but it's helping out like other companies with research. So I think that's why I'm a lot better at this, and this just comes a lot naturally. So the B-Val is just there, we snap him, he's gone. Stay away. It's the kind of game where, like any FNAF game, the easier, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I think by my 4th playthrough, I'd sort of got a rudimentary strategy sorted. Trying to think of the words there. The rudimentary strategy sorted, because first one I was jump scared by Grunkfuss, my own fault. I saw Blam going into the door. Knew Grunkfus was there, but flashed anyways. Blam went, but obviously Grunkfus jump scared me. The second and third time, I made the mistake of looking at the fireplace when the Redman was looking into the fireplace, which meant he was about to attack. And then I think this is my fourth attempt, and it all works perfectly. We're about halfway through the night. This is pretty much as hard as it gets, so you know when the B-Val is just about to go into your office, when he's really close to the camera. So you'll see a lot of times I'll just hang on the B-Val like he's gone there, so you can then just flash him. Because then he shows up towards the tail end of not the tail end, but like around about 2-3 o'clock, so I hadn't really got used to his mechanics and didn't know how long I necessarily had to fend him off. I'm quite a huge I mean, I liked the first game, and the second game was absolutely fantastic. I think this game is definitely it feels like a worthy finale to the series. One thing I will give Jonathan credit for is this game doesn't feel unnecessary, because it would have been very, very easy for this game to just be, here's another Flumpty's game that you wanted, here you go. But he's actually put a lot of thought, and like Golden Flumpty is a lot like some of it. Specifically, if I had to pinpoint who Golden Flumpty is most like, I would say not Golden Freddy, but more like Balloon Boy. I was going to say Foxy there, but then I remembered what the mechanic for FNAF 3 Foxy was, in the sense of sometimes he would just appear in the office, and if you didn't go to the right, go to the camera, he'd jump scare you, whereas with Balloon Boy it was a case of, if you stay on that camera, if you either lower the camera whilst he's there, or you stay on it too long, he'd just get you. Which was a bit annoying towards the tail end of the night, because, or the later nights I should say, because in my later nights Springtrap was moving a lot, so there was a lot of static, so it wasn't always clear when Balloon Boy was there. And we got jump scared twice by Golden Flumpty there, which is, I don't know if it's, he doesn't do anything, he's just a minor distraction, really. And we're nearly at 5 AM, so that's definitely not too bad for a fourth run. I did give the Flumpty mode a try, and on my first, there's the eyesore, he shows up towards the very tail end. More or less, I'd say, to take some addition. I don't know if he was like a late addition to, I think he was, John Creme said he was a late addition to the game, but he's there simply to drain snaps towards the end of the night. So if you haven't got, and I don't even know what his condition is or how long you have to wait for him. But I was going to say, I think we've got this. I know we've got this. In terms of challenge, I definitely say that the first night in this game is definitely more of a challenge than, say, One Night at Flumpty's 2, and a much bigger challenge than One Night at Flumpty's 1. I'm very interested to try out the mobile ports as well, because I was looking at them earlier on the way to work and thinking, oh yeah, he said he was going to release them on mobile. I'm going to have to check those out. The only annoyance with the mobile ports, we're going to have to go to the fireplace here, otherwise we're going to freeze. The only annoyance with mobile ports is they aren't part of one big collection, which is what I would prefer to see. They're more your individual games. Which, I mean, I suppose that makes sense. If you maybe only want the first game, you don't have to buy the whole collection. And there we are, that's 6 AM. Overall, definitely a good night. And that is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.